everybody. Welcome to the class today. Yeah, my name is Lisa Blocker. I've been a personal trainer for a very long time. Gosh, 30 some years. I started downtown Chicago for a lot of years and then moved out to the suburbs. Have been doing one-on-one PT for a really long time. Now I've gotten to a little bit of in-home therapy with some folks. So kind of role is changing, but I'm very passionate about exercise, just moving in general, and a lot of corrective exercise too, which I'll probably talk about a little bit in the session, because a lot of our behaviors and functions that we do on a daily basis require us to use one muscle over another, right? So we have something that's being overactive, something that's being underactive, and then how do we fix it, right? For example, for most people, like we drive a car and we have our foot, on the gas, and sometimes our ankle turns, right? When we used to drive, or if you still drive, our foot curves a little bit to press on the gas pedal, something like that, right? Where, most of society is using a different muscle a lot. And so how do we correct it, right? And that's with anything. That's posture, us sitting in chair, used to kind of a humped over posture. So I'm going to go a lot over posture today too. But just to give the overview, I love exercise. Hopefully you guys get a good couple takeaways from today's class. It's going to be fairly simple. I'm not going to use a lot. I'm not going to use any weights, quite honestly. I will tell you that you can if you have them. You can use assistance. I will modify along the way. If you need to sit, absolutely go ahead and sit. But anyways, we're just going to get started, get rolling. Like she has mentioned before, if you have questions, throw them in the chat. I'll try and see. Sometimes I get too much involved in my workout, but I'll try and see if there's any questions. And if there isn't, we're just going to roll. All right. We're going to get up and we're going to just extend our arms all the way up. Reach as high as you can. Inhale on the up, and we're going to blow it all out on an exhale. Blow it out. Inhale on the up as we raise up to the ceiling. And then we are going to blow out on the down. Good. Lift up. Inhale. Excellent. And then we're going to exhale. Let's go one more. We're going to inhale up. And then exhale down. And now we're going to bend at the waist on the down. So same thing. Inhale up. And then empty the lungs out all the way down to the floor. Good. Inhale up all the way. And sometimes I'll stand lateral too, so that you guys can see from this angle. Blow out, empty those lungs out. Inhale up. Good job. Exhale out. Same thing. Couple more. Inhale up. And then exhale down. Good. Keep going. Two more. And I want you guys to try and get as low as you can to the ground. And this time I want you to bend your knees. So you're going to kind of squat down. If you can touch the ground, awesome. If you can't, don't even worry about it. Reach as far as you can. So we're back to inhale. Blow out. We're going to sit a little bit on the bottom. Good. Last one up. Good. And then we're going to airplane a little bit. We used to do these when we were kids, right? But we're going to use it as a really slow trunk stretch. Okay, so we're using our rotation to just stretch out that midsection. And if you can, keep those arms up, because even though we don't have weights, it's going to start getting harder just for us to have our arms being static and up. All right, good. We're just rotating at the trunk. Right now, my arms are separate. Good job. And keep that breathing up. We're never going to hold our breath. Our posture is always going to be up. Our chest is going to be up. We're going to go over a little bit more about that in a second. But for right now, I just want to warm you guys up. Good. Last one, lift. Your right, my right, your left. Good. We're gonna reach up to the ceiling and we're gonna do that sit a little bit again. Good. Reach back up to the ceiling, really stretch, get those fingers open. Good. If you are in a chair, you can do the same thing. Reach as high as you can to the ceiling, reach as low as you can on the sides. Good. Up, really reach, and down. Good. 2 more of these. We're going to come up, reach, extend those fingers, and come down. Last one, up. Great. And down, baby squat. Good. Now I'm going to have you reach for the side. So one arm is going to cross over your body. You're going to reach to the side. Now notice my whole body is not torquing forward. I'm just rotating in the hips a little bit here. So I'm going to reach opposite. Same thing on the other side. Good. If you want to start kind of hands in your armpits, and then you're going to reach. It's almost like a one-arm row just to warm up here. Good. We're going to cross. Cross. Good. Cross. And if you're thinking about your hands, try to do palm down to thumb up in your armpit. Palm down, thumb up in my armpit. Good. And the reason I asked if you can to try and do those hands that way is because I want you to row it. Meaning at the very end of the pull, you should feel a squeeze in your shoulder blades. Good. So we're going to reach and row. Reach and row. Good job. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. Let's do a couple more here. One more each side. And we're going to do that same action, but now we're going up and we're crossing. So reach as far as you can and row down. Reach and down. So now we're upward crossing. And these are a lot of functional movements. That's why I like to do this. Yes, is this a stretch? Absolutely. Is it a functional movement that you do every day? Probably. You're mostly, sometimes we're reaching in our cupboards, right? We got to extend. We don't want to pull our back out when we do that. So we want to reach and we're rowing in. Don't forget that pull with your shoulder blade. Reach and pull with the shoulder. Reach, pull with the shoulder. Reach. Good. Last one. Now we're doing the same thing, but we're going down. So you can see me. I'm just going to reach down, row up, down, row up. I'm crossing. So my right hand is going to my left foot. My left hand is going down to my right foot. Again, if you cannot bend all the way to the ground, don't worry about it. Just reach as far as you can. Again, if you're sitting in a chair, just do the best that you can with the reaches. We're just warming up to stretch it out. Good. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. Yes. And pull. One more each side. And then we're going to add them all together. Last bottom. We're going to go back to the sides. So side, side. We're going up, cross, up, cross. Now we're going down, down, cross, and down. That same 6 movements. Here we go. Side. We're just reaching. Reach, stretch, and stretch. Good. Now we're going down, down, and down. Keep going. We're doing a couple more sets of these. All 6. Side, cross, up, and down. Good. Down. Don't forget the rowing at the end. Last 6. And side, row, cross, pull down, cross, pull down. We're going to reach, row it, reach, and row it. Good. Let's do one big inhale and one big exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale up. Good. And exhale down. And when you're down, just shake those arms out. I know we've used our arms a little bit here. Just shake them out. Good. Good. We're going to go into some postural stuff, and I want you to think about how we sit when we're in a chair. Normally, obviously, it's shoulders rounded forward, right? So everything that we do, if I ever say the word neutral spine, I mean that my head and the middle of my shoulder blades and the top of my buttocks here are all in line. And in order for that to happen, my chest has to be back, right? It has to be open where my shoulders are open. And I have a little bit of pelvic tilt in my bottom, okay? Watch what happens when hopefully you guys can see this enough. Watch what happens when I pelvic tilt forward. Think of your pelvis as a bowl. If I tilt my bowl backwards, say my bowl has milk in it, and I'm going to pour it backwards. So I'm tilting my pelvis forward. See how that ruins my neutral spine here? Same thing as if I hyper pelvic tilt backwards. Now look, it's not a straight line anymore either. So you have to have a little bit of a balance where your pelvis is a little bit tilted so that we get that straight line with just a little bit of a gap here. That's what I'm looking for when I look at posture with different clients, okay? So in order, I just want to warm up. Let's do some what I call waiter bow stretch. And you're going to get in that neutral spine. And all we're going to do is bend. I usually keep my hands on my chest to remind me that my chest has to be back. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my chest forward. I'm not bending my legs. I have a slight bend in them. Let me scoot a little more so you can see my legs. Slight bend. I'm going to dip down until I feel that good pull and stretch in my hamstrings, which, by the way, pulls in this lower back. Okay. And then I'm going to stand back up. When I stand up, I'm going to squeeze my glutes. Why? Because the glutes are one of the most underactive muscles in your entire body. We have to learn how to activate that. Okay. So we're going to tilt back again. We're going to waiter bow stretch. Here we go. Until you feel that pull. When you stand up, what are you going to do? You're going to squeeze your butt. Good. Tilt back again. Waiter's bow stretch. Feel it in the back of those hamstrings. Good. We're going to stand back up. Squeeze your glutes. Pelvic tilt back just a little. Waiter's bow stretch. My back stays straight. Good. Stand back up. Squeeze those glutes. Excellent. Couple more here. We're going to bend, dip, dip. Good. We're going to stand back up. Squeeze your glutes. Waiter bow stretch down. Remember, I'm not hunched over like this. In order to fix that, my chest comes up and my butt comes back a little bit. Good. We're standing up nice and slow. Squeeze the glutes. Good. Let's do one more. We're waiter's bow stretching down. Good. And we're lifting all the way up. Glutes are activated. Let's do a couple more, but I'm going to add something else. So you're going to stretch down. Do that waiter bow stretch. When you stand up and you squeeze your glutes, you can see my feet. You're going to come up on your tippy toes. Good. Back down to the stretch. So now we're just adding a heel raise to it. Stand up, glute squeeze, heel raise. Good. Waiter's bow stretch down. Excellent. Stand up, heel raise. Good. Back down to the stretch. Great job. Squeeze the glutes, heel raise. Ooh, my balance is up. Good. Waiter's bow stretch down. That's why we're doing it, everybody. Work on that balance. Glutes squeezed, heel raise up, down. Waiter's bow stretch. This will be our last one. Glutes squeezed, heel raise up, and down. Good. Now I want you to just bend forward. This time you can roll the back. And I just want you to stretch that lower back just a little bit. Let those arms hang. Let that lower back stretch. Good. Maybe I always kind of just dangle them, kind of like makes me think of an elephant trunk or something. But along the same lines, if we're going to speak about animals, I usually remind people that when you're walking, right, you want to have your thumbs pointing forward. When I walk down the street, my thumbs are up. And in order to have my thumbs up, my shoulders have to be back, right? Think about your posture if your shoulders are rounded. Where are my thumbs? Well, they're at my sides, right? My palms are back, kind of like an ape, right? When you see apes walking around, well, they're hunched over, right? So immediately their palms go back. So whenever you're walking around, you want to just consciously try and walk around. Hey, if I lift my shoulders up and back and drop, guess what? Now my thumbs are forward. Just a tip on the side. Anyways, let's go down to the lower body just for a little bit. I want you to march in place very slow. So we're going to lift up one leg. We're going to work on our balance and we're going to drop. March nice and slow. I don't care what you do with your arms. Sometimes I recommend if you can't hold that balance, just grab onto something, hang on to it. Don't death grip it, but just try and get like 1 or 2 fingers on it. And all we're going to do is lift these legs up, alternating. Just hold for about 2-3 seconds, and then we're going to drop. Okay, we're going to work on the balance a little bit. Again, you can use that chair if you need to. You also don't have to be lifting 90 degrees like I am. Just lifting off of the ground, even just an inch, is great exercise to work on that balance. And of course, we need balance every day, all day, right? And what gives us balance? Our core strength. So this has to remain engaged all the time. We're constantly telling our abdominals, our lower backs, our erector spines to contract to help us remain in this posture when things are awry, right? Like if we're on uneven ground or we're climbing up something that's a little steeper than just a flat surface. Good. Keep marching. Good. Last lift. And now I'm going to have you kind of lift to the side. So we're going to lift that knee up side. Good. If it helps to touch it with that hand, go ahead and touch. Again, if you can only get your foot up like an inch off the ground, not a big deal. Just work on the balance. Or if you have to hold on to a chair or something, that's totally fine. Side, we're going to try and open these hips up a little bit. Good. Lift. And lift. Great work. Keep it up. I also did not remind you about water. Make sure that you're hydrating yourself during this. I'm sure we've probably got at least a half hour left. So I will not be reminding you to be drinking water, but please remember to do so. Good. Last one on each side, side and side. Good. Now we're going to do our circles. So we're going to start with our right leg. We're going to lift up. We're just going to open it in a circle. Try and keep these hips loose. Open and up. Good. Try and keep that posture up. And again, if you got to hang on to a chair, sometimes when we get movement now in the hip area, throws our balance off a little bit. If you need to, hang on to a chair. Good. Lift and open. Lift that knee up, open and out. Excellent. Lift, open. Great. Lift and open. Lift, open. Good job, you guys. One more each side with the opening, and then we're going to close the door. Right now we're opening them. Good. Now we're going to kick it back. Leg comes backwards and you're going to bring it forward. Good. Leg kicks back, bring it forward. Excellent. Again, if you can only keep it this low to keep that balance, that's fine. Kick it back, lift that knee up if you're able. Good. Kick it back, lift up and open and close. Good. Back, up and open, close. Back. Good. If balance is hard for you, remember that you find a focal point somewhere. Like clearly right now, I'm staring at my own self on screen. So obviously if you have me on screen, stare at something, find like my, kneecaps or something, and just focal point on that spot. That will help you remain balanced here. Good. We're going to do one more each side here. Back and open. Good. Back and open forward. Good. Let's get some straight leg kickbacks. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit. I'm going to use a chair just so that you can see that my posture is up, but we're just going to straight leg kick. We'll alternate them. Good. Straight leg kick. And the only reason I tap and use a chair for this, you can totally do it without it. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit of a better range of motion if I do hang on, because my body's not flying everywhere. Good. Kick straight legged. Good. Keep those toes down. Heel is what comes up to the ceiling. And again, watch my upper body. I'm not dipping down to the chair. My chest is not dipping like this. That is not what we want. Keep that core engaged so that we can activate the glutes back here. Again, another exercise to target that. Why? Because it has to go in line with our postural muscles. Good. Kick. One more each side. Great job. And now we're going to butt kick. So we're going to bring heel all the way to our glutes. Kick. Good. This you can alternate. This one you don't have to hang on to anything. And I'm standing this way hopefully so that you can see me laterally. It'll be a better view. Good. Kick. Good. And let's have our arms. Let's do some curls with it. Just do a normal bicep curl. Alternating. Work on that balance a little more. And coordination. Can you do both at the same time? I realize there's no weight, but let's just get the arms active with it. Kick. Good. Kick. If you are sitting, you can do like a knee raise in your chair while doing the bicep curl, still activating some lower body with the upper. Good. Good. One more each side. Good. Relax. Good. I'd like to move into, I'm gonna get this chair out of the way. I'm going to stay lateral a little bit. I'm going to get into more of a stationary lunge position. And this is more just, we're going to do more balance. I'm going to get a little bit more lower body into it. So we're going to start with just rocking forward, back and forth. So all I'm doing is weight shifting. I'm weight shifting to the front and then to the back, right? I want the weight on this quadricep in the front. I don't want the pressure in my knee. So if you are feeling that pressure in your knee, you're going too far, or you are bringing your chest way too far, right? I don't want that lean. This stays upright. Good. We're just going to weight shift for now. Same leg. I haven't switched. If you're switching, that's fine. Just make sure that you're switching again when I switch legs. Good. We're going to lean. Good. Just feel that weight shift because we're going to get some core rotations in a little bit. Good. One more. Excellent. Let's switch front leg and back. Again, chest is up. Core is tight. Again, if you need to hang on to a chair or a side table or something to keep you balanced, that's fine. We're just going to rock this. Good. And the heel is down in the back there. I have way more ceiling on. I want you guys to see my feet back here. There we go. There we go. Good. So you're going to rock forward, but keep that weight back on the heel in the back. So I'm leaning forward, heel is down. Why do I want that? So that you guys feel that calf stretch back there. Lean, stretch. In a second, that heel does come off of the ground. But for now, we're just going to work on the lean and the shift. Good. Weight shift. And hopefully we're stretching our hip flexor 2 in the front. Those are these muscles. So if we're sitting a lot, right, and our legs are bent in that hip joint in the front, that is all going to be so tight. And right now we're opening that up on that back leg. If you can tell, let me switch legs so you can see. We're opening this up, this whole cavity, right? That leg is straight. If I'm sitting in a chair, I'm fixed like this. And this never gets stretched, right? All right, let's go back to switching our legs, our front legs. And all I'm going to have you do is drop that back knee down for a lunge, but very minimally. You don't have to do any of this deep. Again, if you need to hold on to something, totally fine. But we're going to drop that back knee down as comfortably as we can. and then you're gonna lift. Good. We're dropping the knee down. Gain some balance and a little bit of muscle here. Good, just gentle. We're not gonna go overboard. Just a little bit of dip. Good. Again, don't care where your arms are. At your sides for balance. You want them out to the side for balance. If you're hanging onto something, totally fine. Good, we're not gonna do a crazy ton of them. One more. Great job, good, and then we're gonna switch. I'm gonna face this way so you can see that my outside leg is the one dipping. Remember, knee is going just straight down, minimally, very, very minimally. My chest is up. I'm not leaning forward at all. I want to stretch this flexor up. I want to activate my quads here and get some good lower body stretching. Good. Excellent. Let's do 2 more here. Excellent. Good. If you can, bring that knee up just for the stretch. For a couple seconds, hold it up. We'll keep alternating. So lift, stretch, and lift, stretch. Lift, stretch, and lift, stretch. Again, you can't, don't worry about it. Get it up as high as you can and just stretch it out. That's all. Good. All right, I'm going to stand lateral again because we're just going to go into some sitting now. We're going to do some squats. They're not going to be deep. Again, if you need to do it on a chair, I'd recommend that too. But stationary wise, remember, we're going to keep that neutral spine. And all we're going to do for right now is we're going to bring those hands up, pelvic tilt back, right? We have to keep my back straight. And we're going to sit into this. Baby squats, butt squeeze, baby squats, butt squeeze. Good. Every time we come up on a squat, I want you to squeeze those glutes. But you have to remember to pelvic tilt back again. Good. So if you can watch, my pelvis is doing a lot of work. Why? Because I want that lower back to be stretched and engaged so that it can support my core. Good. We're going to sit. And here's another fun challenge that us trainers use to see if muscles are under and overactive. Is we tell clients to lift their arms up as they squat. And those arms should be in line with my neutral spine. If it is not, something else is going on, right? Like some clients are like this, they can't even get them up, right? Some clients are way hyper up, extending because we're overcompensating on the pelvis. But if you want to practice, arms should be even with the back. Should be all in a nice straight line. Another thing that we should watch too is that our heels remain on the floor. Some of you have very tight calves. And so when you squat, you can see my feet. Sometimes people lift their heels off the ground. Never. The weight is in the back on a squat. Weight is in the back. You gotta sit back in it. Good. Let's do 2 more. And excellent. Good, good. Go ahead and just shake your legs out a little bit. I know we back to back with lunges and squats. So we're going to now move into our core rotations. So I'm going to face forward just so you can see, but this time arms are going to be together. And what we're going to do is rotate. My hip is going to go too here. And then we're going to swing and rotate the other way. Good. So it's called a core rotation. My core is going to be doing the work. Good. Turn. Get those hips to shift. If any of you are golfers, this is what you want to see right on your follow throughs. Good. Swing. Arms are up. We're working that upper body on the swing across. Good. Swing across. Good. Arms stay even with the shoulders. Notice my upper body. It's staying up. My chest is up. My back is straight. I'm not caving with the posture. Good. Rotate. Good job. rotate. Good. One more each side. And then we're going to start doing our X's. Good. We're going to come lower. Both hands come down, lower, and we're going to cross to the upper. We're going to drop down same side and cross to the upper opposite side. Good. Down same side, cross upper. So we're making a big giant X. Down same side and cross. If you can think about the X, that's the motion you're doing. Down same side, lift, cross. Down same side, lift and cross. Good. Down same side. If you notice, when I go down, my legs are bending. I am squatting a little bit here. I'm bending my knees. I'm not trying to pull my back out. Use your legs. Down same side, cross upper body. Down same side, cross upper. Down same side, cross upper. Good job, you guys. Keep it up. Down same side, cross upper. These are the full body exercises, right? We're doing more than one body part. We're not just targeting just one thing. And these are the exercises that I like, because again, these are all functional movements that you're doing all the time. If I have to bend over and pick something up and then reach and put it back on the table, this is the movement that I'm doing. So why are we not practicing them in the gym, right? Got to get these movements down. Good. Down. We're going to make one more X here. Up, last down, and up. Excellent. Good job. A couple more trunk rotations, just to stretch it out before we go into our upper body a little bit. Good. It's like I feel like I'm back in kindergarten again, doing airplanes, right? Good. Good. I'm going to face lateral here because I do want to go back to that weight shift. Your feet are going to shift back and forth, just that the core is a little more stable. And we're going to row and do a rowing motion. So you're going to start palms down. This time, I am a little rolled forward. You know, I've preached neutral spine this whole time, but this time you are going to reach and be a little rolled. As long as when you row, see how now I'm upright? And my target is here. I want to squeeze my shoulder blades together. So palms down to thumb up. My lower body is weight shifting, like I already taught you to do earlier. So right now we're getting our arms involved. Palms down, thumb up, squeeze in your shoulder, in your armpit, Squeeze in your armpit. Palm down, squeeze in your armpit. Spin a little bit. Palms down, squeeze. Palms down, squeeze. Good job. Lower body is weight shifting from one foot to the other. Good. And we're rowing. Good. Excellent, you guys. Keep this up. Let's do one more. And just because I want you to keep your legs even, switch your legs that are alternating, okay? So you're going to reach, palms down, thumbs up, palms down, thumbs up. Keep going. We're rocking on the bottom. Again, if by now you're kind of tired, you absolutely need to sit down. Go ahead and just do the rowing motion in your chair. Squeeze. The squeeze at the end is so important. Don't forget to squeeze your shoulder blades. Squeeze. Squeeze. Lower body's weight shifting. Squeeze. Good. Good job, you guys. 3 more of them. Squeeze. Palm down. Thumbs up. And 2. Last one. Excellent. Good. Scoot back a little bit because we're going to go into our windmills, okay? Actually, I might sit so that you can see the top of my hands. You guys can stand if you want. You're going to burn more calories if you stand. But I just want to make sure you guys can see the top of my screen. So we're going to come out. Thumbs are going to be up, and we're going to do a windmill. If you are sitting, don't get to your chair and sit like this. No, wait. We're going to come to our chair, and we're going to lift. Everything's lifted up, okay? So I'm lifted. My core is engaged. My thumbs are up and we're just gonna windmill up, windmill down. This is simple. I'm gonna add something else in a second so that we can work on the rotator cuff a minute. Rotator cuff surgeries are obviously one of the big ones. A lot of you maybe have shoulder, history of injury. Do what you can when you get to the shoulder stuff. If you can only come to here, that's totally fine. Do what you can do. Okay. Good. Now we're going to add a shoulder press in the middle of it. So we're going to windmill up. We're going to drop our elbows down, press up, and open down. Excellent. Windmill up, shoulder press, and windmill down. Good. Windmill up, shoulder press, windmill down. Windmill up, shoulders press, open down. Windmill up, shoulder press, and windmill down. Good. Let's do 2 more of them. Windmill up. If you have dumbbells or a can of something that's going to give you added weight, you can always add it. I even know when I teach classes like this that my shoulders tend to burn even when I'm not holding anything. So it's all about remaining good posture and doing the movement properly. Good. Just shake those arms out at your sides. And then we're going to get into something just a little more complicated. I want to see if you guys can do it. You're going to bend 90 degrees at your side. Okay. You are going to lift by the way, my wrist stays in line with my elbow here. Okay. We are going to lift up the lateral bent raise. See how my wrists are out by my elbow? If you can see, I'll kind of scoot up like this. They're not like this. They're straight, 90 degrees. And then I'm going to bring my hands up. Again, same, 90 degrees. Full shoulder press, elbows down, hands down, all the way down. Good. So we're getting elbows up, hands up, full shoulder press, elbows, hands, all the way down. Good. Elbows. This is the one that you might have to watch me. You're going to have to teach your brain the movements. Hands down, all the way. This is such a great exercise for rotator cuff people. If you've had an injury, you know these motions. It's all external, internal rotations of the shoulder. Good. We're externally rotating. We're pressing, dropping back down, internally rotating, and lower. Good. And if you're doing it properly, you will feel it in your shoulders. I already am. That means anything. Elbows up, hands up, full press, elbows, hands, and down. Let's do 2 more sets of these. I know it's a lot of movements. Full press, elbows, internal rotation, down. Here's our last one. Up, external rotate, press, elbows down, hands down, all the way down. Good. And then go ahead and shake that out. Good. I'm going to stand up now because I think that you can see me. I just want to make sure you guys can see the shoulder ones. Good. I'm going to have you curl just at your side. I'm going to stand back up myself. I want you to curl palms up so that you're curling into your shoulder. Okay. We're going to lower and almost kick back till my arm is completely straight back here. It's almost the kickback for the tricep. So we are curling up for the bicep, kicking back for the tricep. Remember, bis are in front, tris are in back. Good. And if you notice, watch my hands, my palm up to my shoulder. On the back, my palm is coming back up to the ceiling. So we're rotating that. We're curling up. We're kicking back. Curling up. And I don't know if you can tell with the rest of my body, but I've kind of formed a like skiing posture, right? My knees are slightly bent. My chest is up. I'm a little bit bent forward, but at least I have neutral spine going on because I want my tricep kickback to be as far as I can. Whenever you are doing exercises like this, make sure your knees are slightly bent all the time. Posture is up. You want to take that pressure off the lower back. We never want to be locked like this. Keep it slightly bent. Give your back a break a little bit. Good. Curl, kick back, curl, kick back. When you do these, activate that muscle. Say to your bicep, I'm contracting. Say to your tricep, you gotta work back here. Good, because again, if you don't have weight, that's not that big of a deal. Doesn't matter. Good, we're kicking, we're curling, kicking. 2 more of these, and then we're gonna stay back in the kick, and you're gonna pulse it. Right now, we're gonna stay back here, palms up, and you're just gonna pulse up and down. And hopefully after a while, you can feel in this tricep back here, it being activated. Keep pulsing, up, 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 up. Good, good, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Go ahead and shake those arms out a little bit. Good, and then we're just gonna reach overhead if you can. Again, if you have a shoulder issue, obviously this motion is not gonna happen for you. If you can, let's try and stretch out that tricep the best that we can. So we're gonna lift overhead, pull on that opposite elbow. Good, open back up, stretch that tricep again. Good, so we can get this deep stretch in here. Good, and then we're gonna shoulder stretch, roll that across. We're just gonna finish up with some minor stretches here. And then I'm gonna end with your neck a little bit. Good, across the other direction. Good, really pull on that elbow. Good. Oh, that feels good, huh? Couple swings forward. Good, we're gonna take our fingers and we're gonna stretch this forearm with our bicep. Good, pull that back. Pull those fingers back if you can see me. This is the motion I'm asking for. Good. And then switch. Our palm is up. Stretch those fingers back if you can. Good. And then we're just going to finish with some neck stuff. Okay. So all I want you to do is loosen up that neck. Now that we're all loosey-goosey, your posture should be pretty okay to have your shoulders back, right? I'm not rounded and then using my neck muscles. Get those shoulders back. We're just going to go in some big circles. Make sure that we're keeping our eyes open. Good. A circle, big circle. We're dropping down. Really looking up to that ceiling. If you're ever feeling dizzy, please sit down and stop doing the rolling motion. Good. Let's switch directions. Good. Down and around, up. Good. Swinging around again, looking down, side and around. Excellent. Good. Let's just go side to side. Posture remains. We're going to look side. I want you to just touch on that jaw just a little bit. Maybe give it a little bit of a deeper stretch there. Good. We're going to look to the other side. Just grab that jaw just a little bit to pull it over for a nice, good stretch. Good. And then we're going to reach overhead. Let me get the chair again so you can see me closer up. We're going to reach overhead and you're just going to pull to the side there. Stretch out this neck here. We got a heavy head and we don't usually stretch our neck muscles. Good. Same thing. Reach overhead and just pull gently, very gently to the side. Nothing should be painful. Nothing. You should be feeling the stretch. Grab again in the back. And now we're going to pull towards our opposite foot. So it's more of at a 45-degree angle. It's not to the side. Good. Same thing on the other side. Grab 45 and then pull in that direction. Excellent. Good. One more circle each direction. Good. Rotate, switch directions again. Last circle. Good. One more inhale. Our arms come all the way up. Inhale up. And exhale down. Exhale means you got to exhale it all. Get rid of it out of your lungs. Inhale. Fill them up, fill them up, fill them up, fill them up, and blow and empty everything out. Good job. Give me one more of those. Inhale. Fill it up, fill everything up, up, and then exhale. Good, you guys. That's all for me today.